Okay, morning everyone. My name is Kieran Gallery. I'm the course director for the Bachelor of Arts in International Business. I'm here to talk to you this morning about the three um, uh, undergraduate programs that we have in the Kenny Business School dealing with business. I appreciate we're living in uncertain times at the moment, so what I'll do is I'll go through the general chat that we have with regards to each of the courses, and then once we have that, we'll have the possibility of some questions and answers towards the end. So rather than having my face on the screen for the whole lot, I'll hopefully will be able to transfer to the slides now. Okay, so I think we're on the slides at the moment, so we'll just move on with those. So I suppose just a quick note before we get into the actual guts of it. Just to give you a quick overview of obviously what we call the UL experience. Just three things really that I'd like to highlight. First of all, one of the main things that we're quite proud of is that UL graduates get the jobs. We consistently perform at a really high level, higher than the national average. So as a result, getting this UL degree or getting a UL degree would be very beneficial and will make you one of the most employable graduates in Ireland. I suppose just to give a quick bit of background, I'm a product of the system. I studied a Bachelor of Business Studies with French and majored in accounting and finance back in the 90s. I then went on and did a master's in accounting, and during my undergrad degree I did work experience with PricewaterhouseCoopers. And it was a case of that even before I finished my undergraduate program, I had secured an apprenticeship with PricewaterhouseCoopers. So I pretty much had my first job set up even before I graduated. And that's one of the benefits, and hopefully it's going to be talking about it in the next slide, yes, is the fact that we have one of the best work experience programs in the country. And work experience, regardless of what program or what degree you decide to undertake, work experience is a key component of each degree. So as a result, you're going to be getting a very good exposure, not only from the academic side, but also from the practical side as well. Finally then, our campus is something we're obviously quite proud of. Unfortunately, at the moment, it's going to be that bit more difficult to get, I suppose, exposure to the campus, given the times that we are in. We are continually planning for a return to campus. For next semester, I suppose we're in the process of deciding how that will actually shape up, but rest assured that we are doing our best to ensure that there is some exposure to the campus and everything that it entails, obviously bearing in mind the health priorities that are obviously key at the moment. Okay, so on to the task at hand. I'm going to talk to you now about our three business programs that we have in the Kenny Business School. We have the Bachelor of Arts in Law and Accounting, the Bachelor of Business Studies, and then also the Bachelor of Arts in International Business. And I think the key difference between the three programs comes down to structure. So as a result, we'll have a look through them, and you can see that in terms of structure, you can have one that's, I suppose, very structured and is very set out from day one, one that is a bit more flexible in terms of what it is that you can do, and then finally you will have a very flexible degree. But again, we'll go through them in a bit of detail just to see. So first of all is the Bachelor of Arts in Law and Accounting. This is, surprise, one that we share with the law department. The idea behind this is that this is, I suppose, the one at one end of the scale, that it's quite structured. So plenty of modules in both law and accounting. It also boasts the most taxation modules of any of the business degrees. So you can see there you have different, I suppose, the process through the program. You spend first and second year in UL developing your knowledge of law and accounting. In third year, you then go on work experience, either most likely in a law or an accounting or even a taxation background. Then finally, you will return to the University of Limerick for your fourth year and then hopefully graduate at the end of it. As you can see there, there's the potential to pursue a law route or an accounting route, and as part of that, you will also have the possibility of pursuing taxation as well. The next one that I'm going to talk about is the Bachelor of Business Studies. And the Bachelor of Business Studies is, I suppose, the one in the middle in terms of structure. What happens is in first year and the first half of second year, you will basically be exposed to the vast majority of business subjects, the introductory modules in all of them. So accounting and finance, economics, marketing, human resources, etc., etc. The idea behind that is that you get an exposure to all of the various business studies majors, so that in second year you have the opportunity then of deciding which area that you're actually going to major in. And as I said, accounting, economics, risk, human resources, marketing. Once you've done that, then you will stick to that major for the remainder of the program, with some elements as well in minor options. For example, it's possible to pick, let's say, outside your major element to just get a few more modules under your wing. In third year then, as with law and accounting, you'll go on your work experience. In the vast majority of instances, this is going to be in Ireland, but there is the possibility, if you so choose, to opt to spend your work experience outside of Ireland. Finally then, in fourth year, you return to the University of Limerick, continuing on with your major and hopefully graduating at the end of fourth year. I should mention as well that obviously, we'll say as part of the business studies suite, it is possible to pursue a language, French, Spanish, German, or Japanese. You can see down below as well that I mentioned a dual degree option. This is something that is just relatively new. We've had it for the last maybe 2 or 3 years, and it's something that I'll talk about to you in a little bit. The other thing to bear in mind is with the BBS, it is possible to spend your first semester in third year on an international study placement. The University of Limerick has multiple partners worldwide where it's possible to undertake a semester studying as part of their program rather than in UL. Now, the next thing then is the Bachelor of Arts in International Business. Now, this program is the one that I suppose is the most flexible out of the three. And the reason I say that is that for every single semester, you have a range of modules available to you to choose from. So normally in every semester, you have to do 5 modules. And you will be allowed to choose from a range of modules in every single semester that you're on campus in UL. So you can choose from business modules, some arts modules, some law, psychology, history, etc. And also, if you choose to do it, you can also choose some language options as well. So I suppose the benefit behind this is that your degree is basically going to be tailored by you. It's up to you to decide what that BA in international business actually looks like at the end of 4 years, because it's up to you to decide whether or not, for example, you want to specialize in a particular area, or if you want to, I suppose, get exposure to a vast range of business subjects during your full 4 years. So that's what happens basically in first year, second year, and fourth year. In third year, you have a compulsory full year outside of UL. So the first semester is spent on study abroad. And again, as I mentioned that as part of the Bachelor of Business Studies, you get to study in one of our host universities, which range from the likes of New Zealand, Australia, mainland Europe, obviously, Japan, US, Canada, and a lot in South America and along the Pacific Rim as well. So a lot of options to choose from there. Once you're completed with your first semester studying abroad, you'll then undertake your international co-op. And again, just to reiterate, it is one that has to be taken outside of Ireland, in contrast to the BBS and below in accounting. Because of the international nature of the programme, you must spend your work experience outside of Ireland. So that's a full year, third year, where you have spent it outside of UL, and then you return in fourth year to complete your degree and graduate. Now, that's pretty much the outline of the three programs, but I just wanted to go on now and talk very briefly about the dual degree option. This is something that is available on both the Bachelor of Arts in International Business and the Bachelor of Business Studies. And the idea behind it is that should you choose to take this option, it is possible to finish your 4 years not only with a Bachelor of Arts in International Business or a Bachelor of Business Studies from UL, but also with an equivalent international business degree from one of 5 partners that we have, where we have dual degree agreements. At present, the locations of those institutions are in France, where we have 3 host universities, being Audencia in Nantes, La Rochelle Business School in La Rochelle, and Kedge Business School in Marseille in the south of France. We also have an agreement with Kosminski University in Poland, in Warsaw, and then also Nagoya School of Commerce in Japan. So the slight difference with this is that when it comes to, I suppose, how your degree is actually arranged, in both BBS and BAIB, you will spend your first and second year in UL as normal. So you'll do as normal, you'll take your subjects in UL in both first and second year. In third year, you will then go on an international study placement. Now, the slight difference here is that in the other options, you can choose from, as I said, the vast range of host universities that we have. However, with the dual degree option, if you choose to take it, you must take it with one of those 5 host universities. So if you decide, for example, that you'd like to do the dual degree in Nagoya Business School, then you will spend the autumn semester of third year in Nagoya Business School in Japan. When that semester is then finished, you will do your work placement as normal, again an international placement, not necessarily in Japan, it could be somewhere else. And then finally then, when you've finished your work placement in fourth year, instead of coming back to the University of Limerick, you will go back to the host university where you're pursuing your dual degree. So for example, our first student who completed this program, he decided that he was going to do his dual degree with Kedge Business School in France. So he spent his first semester, the autumn semester in third year, in Kedge Business School. He then went on work experience. I think he ended up in Singapore on work experience for 9 months. And then following that 9-month work placement, he then returned to Kedge Business School for his 4th and final year. As I said, the benefit of this is that your study in UL is recognised by the host university, and also your study in the host university is recognised in UL, so that by the time you finish your 4 years, you're coming out with 2 degrees. Now, one of the issues, or one of the questions that is often asked, and not just with regards to the dual degree, also with regards to the international study placement, is do I have to be taking a language in order to do these programs? And the answer is no. For the dual degrees, the courses that you will be on are delivered through English, so there's no real issue there. It will be the same for the vast majority of our host partners for the study abroad semester in third year. The courses that you will take are delivered in English. Now, obviously, if you're looking to pursue a language, so French, German, Spanish, etc., then it is possible to go to a host university and take one or more modules in the host country's language. The other thing I suppose to bear in mind is obviously you might say, well, why would I go to Japan if I have absolutely no Japanese? Would I not be lost? Again, the host university, Nagoya in this instance, will facilitate you by giving you a beginner's Japanese course, or as I said, beginner's French, beginner's Polish, etc. So that it is going to be possible for you to, I suppose, to get by, to be able to order that beer or order that loaf of bread to make sure that you don't starve while you're over there. So what does this mean in terms of careers in business? Well, I guess, again, the structure of the programs is going to have an influence on, I suppose, where you could possibly end up. So obviously with law and accounting, it's going to be in the sphere of either law, accounting, or, again, tooting my own horn, taxation is going to be something that will possibly be available to you too. When it comes to the Bachelor of Business Studies, obviously then it's going to depend on which major you pursue. So accounting and finance, surprise, surprise, it's financial accountant, chartered tax advisor, governance, compliance, finance rules, risk, insurance, underwriting, pricing. So again, it really does depend which area you major in. When it comes to the Bachelor of Arts in International Business, again, these options are absolutely available to you. If you decide to, we'll say, focus on particular subjects, be it marketing, risk, etc., then your career path is going to lead you down that route. If you decide to take a blend of modules during the 4 years of the BA in International Business, that just means that your path is going to be slightly different. It doesn't mean that it's any better or any worse. It just means that you've decided to take the chance of having a more varied undergraduate experience, and it just means that potentially you could end up in possibly any of those areas. Okay, that is pretty much it in terms of the presentation. I did just want to remind you that we are hosting some change of mind days between June the 29th and July the 1st. And again, you can see the link there, ul.ie/courses Q&A. So hopefully that might be helpful to you with regards to various questions that are out there with regards to fees, accommodations, student supports, etc., etc. So I hope you found that beneficial. I am going to now hopefully go to the questions and answers. So if any of you have any questions and answers that you'd like to ask, please feel free to do so now. Okay, I'll give it a small bit more. Hopefully you're typing furiously as we speak. I should say as well, if you do have any queries or questions in relation to any of the programs, if you go into the University of Limerick website, you'll be able to find contact details for each of the undergraduate programs, and it should be possible for you to ask questions later on as well. Okay, we're getting a few now. Let me see. Okay. So how many places are you offering this year? It really depends at the moment. It can vary depending on the program. The Bachelor of Business Studies is obviously our largest undergraduate program, and that can range between the 300-400 mark. The Bachelor of Arts in International Business is obviously a bit smaller in that it's normally between 40 and 50 that we normally accept, and law and accounting is pretty much in and around the same, between the 40 and 50 Okay, is there an option to specialize, or is it a variety of modules in fourth year? Okay, it doesn't really indicate which program you're actually talking about. But again, I can just go through them. With regards to law and accounting, again, you'll be specializing most likely in either the law or the accounting area, but there are some elective modules available to you in fourth year to take. With regards to the Bachelor of Business Studies, again, by the time you reach fourth year, you will have picked a major option at that stage. So you will be specializing within that major option from them. With regards to the Bachelor of Arts in International Business, again, I mean, it's the nature of the program that you can tailor the degree. So as a result, it's going to be very rare that any one student or any two students are going to have the same experience or the same modules throughout their 4 years in the university. So again, in fourth year, it really does depend. If you've decided to specialize all the way through, then absolutely there's the option to specialize or continue specializing in fourth year. If you decide to pick from a range of modules, again, there's that option available to you in fourth year to do that as well. Will this presentation be saved? Yes, as far as I know, it is being recorded, so hopefully it should be accessible later on. Is the work placement paid in the international business course? A very good question. It's something that I should have mentioned. Yes, the work placement across all co-op placements in the university, they are all paid placements. Now, obviously they can vary. You're not going to be driving Ferraris during your 9-month placement, but having said that, it is the situation where you will be paid sufficiently to get by. Okay, if you didn't take accounting at school, would that put you at a disadvantage? Okay, I'll answer that. I'll answer that in two ways. From a general perspective, if you didn't take accounting, would it put you at a disadvantage? Absolutely not. As I said, you will be exposed, we'll say for the Bachelor of Business Studies, you will be exposed to the introductory modules across all of the areas of business in first and the second half of second year. So there will be an accounting module or two in there, but the fact that you haven't taken it does not put you at a disadvantage. It does mean that those that have taken it will be up to speed a little bit quicker, but the idea behind all of these modules, especially the introductory one, is that there is zero knowledge, so that by the time it comes to the end of the course, the end of the semester, everyone is going to be on the same level. And so as a result, taking accounting isn't going to put you at a disadvantage, or not taking accounting. I'd say the same with regards to the law and accounting, and also with regards to the Bachelor of Arts in International Business. For a good deal of the introductory modules, and indeed after that, it is going to be a case that you are the three programs will be mixed. So it could easily be a case that, for example, in the Introduction to Accounting module in first semester of first year, you could have a mix of BBS students, law and accounting students, and BA in international business students. But I suppose to return to your question, no, it's not going to put you at a disadvantage at all. Will we be on campus in the first semester? Obviously, we're still at, I suppose, the early stage of trying to sort this out, and I guess I'm going to stay on the fence here in that it's a very difficult thing to answer at this stage because of, I suppose, how fluid the situation is. Obviously, we're doing quite well in Ireland in terms of emerging from the lockdown and having all our COVID restrictions monitored and put in place. But at the moment, we are hoping for some level of attendance on campus. I am not currently able to say what level that is going to be, but it is going to be a case that there will be, I suppose, a mix, a blend of learning experience, in that there hopefully will be some on-campus attendance and also a good deal of online learning as well. In the international business degree, would you still get your degree if you were unable to travel? Okay, this is, I suppose, an issue with regards to the program. It's one of the key components of the program that you have to spend third year abroad, be it on work experience and as part of your international study. Now, if it's a case where the restriction on travel is imposed on you, so for example, if well, touch wood, the coronavirus isn't still going to be there in a few years' time. But if it happens that the restriction is being imposed class-wide, then it's not going to impact on your international business degree. However, it is something to consider if you are looking to go on the international business degree, that yes, you will have to spend your third year outside of Ireland. And if that is not something that is going to be possible, then it's again something that you need to consider in deciding whether or not that program is for you. Okay, do you have to include that you want to do a language with your business course on your CAO? No, as far as I know, with regards to, and we'll take them each in turn, with regards to the Bachelor of Business Studies, there is only one option on the CAO system for the BBS in the University of Limerick. But should you be successful in obtaining the Bachelor of Business Studies, it's a case of once you're registering within the system in UL, you'll then indicate your preference to actually pursue a language as part of the BBS. With regards to the BA in International Business, no, you don't have to say that you want to do a language. Again, as I said, it's going to be a case that every single semester, including the very first semester, you get to choose the modules that you're going to take. So as part of that choice, you can absolutely choose to pursue a language. Now, if you decide later on that it's not for you, again, because of the fluidity of the system, you'll be allowed to basically drop the language and pursue a different module later on in the course. Okay, next question. Do you have the option to drop the language when you are deciding your major? The answer would be yes. And again, I assume we're talking about the Bachelor of Business Studies. Yeah, it is possible, even if you choose to pursue the language initially. If you decide that it's not for you later on, then absolutely it is possible for you to drop the language at a later stage. How many hours a week usually does the International Business course have? It's very, very difficult to say with regards to that. Again, because of the wide range of modules available, the number of hours can vary. By and large, you're talking, I would have thought, just as a rough estimate, 15 to 20 hours direct contact per week. So that would be 2 hours lecture, 1 hour tutorial. But obviously then there's additional time that you're going to have to spend researching, conducting assignments, catching up on reading, that kind of stuff as well. But contact hours in and around the 15 to 20 mark would be a good guesstimate. Okay, next question. Do most people generally get their first choice in regards to which country they want to go to, international business or business? Okay, yeah, that's a good question. With regards to the way that Erasmus is pursued, we operate almost like a mini CAO system, in that we get each student to pick their top 3 choices of destinations. And then if demand exceeds supply, then we will go by the students' performance in their first year. So that's the way that they're allocated pretty much. In the vast majority of instances, I think at least 80% of students are getting their first choice. So even if it's not a case of that you get your first choice in terms of the actual host university that you want to go to, if, for example, you'd like to go to France, we have multiple host universities in France, so it should be possible for you to get there. The same with Germany, the same with Spain, with a good few in the US as well, and then other countries we have singular universities as well. Are any of the languages at beginner's level? Yes, absolutely. Spanish is at beginner's level, and also you can conduct Japanese at beginner's level as well. Okay, in international business or in business studies, what secondary school subject is an advantage? For example, business studies or economics. Again, what I would be saying to you is, I suppose it really, really does depend. I mean, The idea, I suppose, behind taking the business studies and the economics and accounting modules as part of your Leaving Cert curriculum, that indicates that you have an interest and an aptitude in business studies and international business. And so it seems, quite a logical choice for you to undertake them if you're going to pursue business studies or international business. After that, it really depends. So, for example, if you see yourself being really, really interested in economics and you plan to major in it if you choose business studies, or if you decide to pursue economics modules as part of the international business degree, then absolutely economics is going to be an advantage to you. But in general, it's a case of, I suppose, taking those business subjects as part of your Leaving Cert is going to, I suppose, it's going to make you more comfortable with the subjects later on when you undertake the degrees. Okay, is the year abroad under the dual degree programme covered under SUSI or supported financially in UL by any way? As part of your international study semester abroad, you'll be entitled to the Erasmus grant if you study in Ireland, or sorry, in Europe, and there are other grants available if you study outside of Europe as well. So there is financial support in that sense. I should say as well that there are no additional fees for studying abroad, besides obviously cost of living, etc., etc. And then your work experience, as I said, is paid work experience, so it won't be supported by UL. Okay, how many hours a week is the BBS with French? Again, I would suggest in and around the 15 to 20 hours direct contact, but then obviously you have self-directed learning to undertake as well as part of that. Will there be any restrictions on European students applying to courses in the University of Limerick? No, as far as I know, I don't think so. You can apply through a separate link if you go to the UL Undergraduates Admissions website, there should be something in there to help you apply. In the CEO for BBS, it gives the option to add your language on the CAO form. Will we just ignore this if we do plan on choosing a language? Okay. As far as I was aware, it was a case that under the CAO system, it was just BBS BBS that was listed. But if there is an option to add your language on the CAO form, then it makes sense if you wish to pursue a language to include it there. Is the international placement in BAIB expensive? Again, it really depends. It's one of the things that we guide students with. We'll say, for example, the study abroad semester. It's one of the things that we guide them, that it might be very, very attractive, for example, to go to Copenhagen Business School. It's a very, very good university, and there's a very, very wide range of modules available. But again, you have to think of the practicalities. Copenhagen is quite an expensive city to live in. So again, you have to bear that in mind. Now, again, we have, as I said, multiple options available to us in terms of where you end up. And again, it's a case of doing your homework on this to see what the costs are going to be before you, I suppose, nail your colours to the mast in that respect. How many hours is law and accounting? Again, I know I'm leaning on it, but I'm going to say 15 to 20 hours is a good ballpark area. Okay, when studying in a foreign country in international business, do you study English or in the spoken language in that country? In the vast majority, you'll be studying via English. However, if you decide, for example, that you're pursuing German and you go to a German university, it is possible to take at least one or two modules in German, obviously to improve your German as a result. Is there any advantage to choosing the dual degree over doing your final year in UL going into the future? I guess, I mean, it's really a case of that it's up to you. It depends on where you see yourself. I mean, obviously with the dual degree option, it is going to give you that bit more of a, I suppose, an international focus. And so as a result, if you do see yourself, working abroad, working in France, Japan, etc., it makes sense to have that additional dual degree as part of your CV. I should reiterate as well, it's not for everyone. I mean, out of it, we'll say the joint class of BBS and BAIB, you're talking maybe 8 to 9 students that actually decide to pursue this option in the last year. But again, it is growing in popularity as we get more partners on board. Okay, is the international business degree, or in the international business degree, do you have to do your co-op in the country of the language you're studying, or can you go to an English-speaking country? Well, there's nothing to stop you going to another country besides Spain, but again, I suppose from a practical perspective, it makes sense if you're studying Spanish that you should try and improve your language so that your Spanish grades improve going into the final year. Is there much maths in the BBS? Well, there is a business maths module in first year. In addition, it will definitely form part of any accounting or finance modules that you undertake, but we're not talking theorems or anything like that. You're talking addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, tops. Finally then, is the Erasmus grant available for the compulsory living abroad in third year of BAIB, and can anyone qualify for it? The Erasmus grant is available for the semester that you spent studying abroad. It is a studying abroad grant. In terms of when you go on work experience, again, your work experience is going to be paid, so the idea is that you wouldn't be qualifying, or you wouldn't be getting the grant as a result. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you very much for the questions. Hopefully you got the information that you needed on it. But as I said, if not, please feel free to go into the program page for each of the law and accounting, the BBS and the BA in international business, and you'll find contact details there as well, where you'll be able to ask questions in the future. So thank you very much, and just let me wish you all the best of luck in wherever you end up, and hopefully we'll see you again in the future. Thank you. Bye.